What is up, everybody? Welcome back into another great episode of More Important Issues. We're here for a Sunday edition, the first of the week, ready to get going. Hope everybody's had a good Sunday. Let's get rolling. Hey, let's get this week started good. I'm in a positive mindset. The Vols helped me clean the house today with the sweep. We were able to bust out the brooms. Honestly, no hesitation. Well, depends on how you look at that, I guess. I guess there was the Vols were down at one point, but really no hesitation even from Friday night. That's what we'll say. We're rolling with the confidence of Coach Vitello. It's that simple.
Yeah, you took care of business. That's what you try to do in every SEC series. Now, if you're able to get a road series sweep, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that because Missouri's not a good baseball team. That's a fact. You saw it this weekend. But the fact that you're able to go in there and get 3 conference wins was huge for, seeding wise, not just for the SEC tournament, but for, you're fighting to host a super regional. You probably locked down a regional at this point. But you want that top 8 seed to be a super host. So hopefully,
every game's important. So Tennessee, it's just kind of go out and do your job. And Tennessee did that this weekend. That's all you can do.
That's all you can ask for.
All you can do. We're also talking some football recruiting. Getting a commit this week was that Friday. Everything kind of ran together towards the end of this week with some madness. But we'll talk Brody Foley. But like I said, madness. We'll talk some of that transfer news. Landon mentioned some of the seeding. What's it going to look like for Tennessee in postseason? Tennessee's going to be there. You kind of known that for a while now. Now it's just about where do they look like as far as finishing in the SEC today. Really, where did Arkansas? Did they end up beating Georgia? I know they were starting.
They did beat Georgia. So Tennessee and Arkansas are now tied for first in the SEC. Yeah. So
I knew they were starting their comeback. But that's regardless. That's overall today a good day. Like I said, Tennessee just has to win, and they did that this weekend. But some other things kind of fell into place for them too.
Yeah, you can control what you can control, and Tennessee has a great opportunity this coming up weekend to be the sole leader in the SEC if they're able to take down a really good Arkansas team.
Yep. And then if you got questions, drop them in the chat while you're doing that. Tell us where you're listening from. And then as always, we've got our of the weeks, and Landon's going to tell you guys where who makes this show possible. But also, I think he's got a surprise for somebody too.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check out our sponsors, Tennessee Tap House, Hound Dogs, and Blue Water Climate Control. Before I tell you the winner of the giveaway, here's a quick word from our good friends at Blue Water Climate Control.
Blue Water Climate Control. From heating and AC installation and repair, commercial or residential, when you choose Blue Water Climate Control, we offer solutions, not a sales pitch. Blue Water Climate Control. Veteran-owned, superior service.
All right, so the winner of the BaseVols t-shirt is none other than Derek Dalton. He's a retired coach of the Granger Blaze Baseball, UT fan, father of 2 awesome kids. So just read your Twitter bio. Thought I'd give you a little introduction in there.
Yeah, and I hope you've been working out because that extra small is going to be real tight. Otherwise, it runs true to size, but it's an extra small. So
yeah, I'm trying to help you out. But yeah, in all seriousness, just give us a shout, and we'll be happy to send that out to you. Really appreciate you following us and tuning in to this show. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, we will see you on the other side, and we'll get this, like I said, Sunday edition going.
Balls are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Out by Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Everybody for you, have 6 men.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit to do and welcome into more important issues. It is Sunday, May 9th. I had to think about that month. It's raining. It's kind of chilly, at least up in Johnson City. So I had to rethink exactly what month we're in, just to double check. But we are in May, kind of getting into, as soon as baseball's over, which I'm glad we've got baseball this year. And I'm not just talking about last year, the last couple of years, we're already kind of in the dog days of the summer as far as off season goes, looking for content. But Tony Vitello, he's not just a winning machine, he's a content machine. He's got plenty to talk about on the Hill.
Yeah, going to take us all the way through June, hopefully, in Omaha. So we'll have plenty to talk about for the next at least couple months.
Exactly, and it is a very different year than last year too. Tennessee kind of dreaming of Omaha this year. It's looking like more than a dream. It's looking like a flight you can already book. I don't know where we'll have to fly into. Charlotte to get to Omaha, Dallas. I don't know, but we may want to go ahead and start looking at those connecting flights. Yeah,
I'm hoping maybe Zerk or Kiv can help us out a little bit. Maybe just sneak us in a suitcase, hopefully a large suitcase at that.
Listen, leave them at will call and we'll get them. Don't keep it simple, all right? Leave them at will call under my name. No problems. We'll roll in. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll take all the bat bags. You just give us a bus or a van, and we'll just drive on down there.
I'm not driving in an unmarked van to somewhere I'm not invited to. That's how you end up on Homeland Security's network. I'm not doing that.
So you need tickets in hand.
Yeah, I mean, I'll walk in with a bag if I've got an identifier, but no unmarked vans into big events I'm not supposed to be at. That's I'm already on a no-fly list. I can't get on anything else. So that's not true. It might be true. We're not going to get into it on this Sunday night. We are going to talk about it, and we'll start with the good news because Tennessee football did pick up a recruit this week. I think it's an interesting pickup, and I think one thing I'm curious to see how Josh Heupel's going to use tight ends. I think when people think about fast-paced offenses, the first thing that pops in your head is not a tight end.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at Tennessee the past few years, and you think, that team doesn't use a tight end. They don't even know what a tight end is.
I thought it was synonymous with tight ends. They used them so frequently, and I think tight ends probably led in catches last year.
Yeah, they're just an extra tackle. But yeah, this kid.
Whoa! No, their extra tackles were freshmen.
Oh yeah, it was Cooper Mays that they put eligible numbers on.
Yeah, no, don't put that evil on Tennessee.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's been rough. Sorry, tight ends. I'm apologizing for you.
Yeah, you should
because it's been rough. Yeah, you locked down a commitment. Brody Foley is a 3-star tight end, 6'6", 235 pounds from Cincinnati, Ohio. Offers from Indiana, Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas. Teams like that, a bunch more, but those are the kind of key ones, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee locks down there another commit. I think it's their 4th in this class. And, you want to keep adding to that. Alex Golish had a big hand in recruiting this kid. And I like it because, I read a little bit about him and a little bit about, and not just a Tennessee outlet, covering recruiting and stuff like that. This was actually a Cincinnati article, and they talked about how he plays both sides of the ball, and his coach said he does a great job run blocking as well and takes pride in it. So, hopefully he can bring that physicality back to Knoxville. I think that's something that Tennessee would love to have, and also a guy that they can use and mismatch in the passing game too.
You know what he sounds like to me right now? 2022 Special Teams Player of the Year. That's what he sounds like to me right off the top of the head. Freshman guy who plays both ways in high school, tight end, loves to run block. That's a special teams player right there. Mike Eckler should be absolutely amped to get him on campus. He's going to have at least 1 year of special teams with him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's what that sounds like to me.
I think they had a shortened season last season, but he had 25 catches for 233 yards and a touchdown. Also had 14 rushing yards and a touchdown. So the guy likes having the football in his hands.
Did I hear correctly? He had a rushing touchdown?
He did.
I want to see that play. Do you think it was like the fumble Ruski? Like, how did he get the ball in his hands for a rushing touchdown?
Maybe it was like a tight end reverse.
They run an end around with a tight end. That's an interesting one. That end's got to decide. Is he pulling? Did they pull a tight end?
I mean, at 6'6", he's not hiding behind anybody.
No. That's a good point. Probably no fumble Ruski. I'm trying to work out the logistics of a tight end run play. Did he line up a running back some? Fullback. Is he a fullback?
Yeah, I mean, when they said he plays both sides of the ball and he takes pride in run blocking and stuff, he reminds me of Austin Pope a little bit, which, I mean, I guess you would take that, right?
I don't know about Josh Heupel's offense. I think if you want an effective tight end, you're going to need someone that's more effective in the pass game.
Right. I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, the production that Austin Pope gave you, maybe not in the passing game, but just like an overall
if you mean from sheer numbers, give me the guy. We'll put him on the field. Yeah, that's that. Then for Tennessee, I think that bodes well. The first thing that popped into my head when Tennessee gets a tight end commit was it Friday?
I think it was Saturday.
Saturday, okay. I would have really liked to seen Hudson Wolf make it to campus, especially in this offense. And so I think, you're looking for a guy like that. I'll be honest, haven't watched Brody Foley's highlights yet. And I'm going to base my opinion off of a 3-minute huddle film. I hope the music's hype, or you can just knock it down to at least an 8 right there on a scale of 1 to 10. So maybe put out a new highlight tape before I watch it, Brody. But I think Tennessee's going to need a guy that can be really, really effective in both. Yes, but I think passing game more so. I think Tennessee's like I think this would be the year to see a wide receiver converted, if any. Like in Jeremy Pruitt's offense, we talked about, or at least I thought, D. Beckwith might be a guy just had a need that you transfer there, but you always knew he wasn't going to be the tight end that offense really needed. You were like he's going to be effective. Like D. Beckwith seems like now in the running back situation, I don't see him getting moved, but that would I could see that more likely happening with this offense.
Yeah, and Josh Heupel seems to, up to this point, it could change, but up to this point, he seems like he's going to let guys play what they want to play. And, if they don't want to move the linebacker, he's not going to sit there and make them.
He's not going to make him move the linebacker. I know that.
Right. But yeah, it just seems like he's kind of getting his guys. This wasn't a guy that was on probably Jeremy Pruitt's radar. So this is kind of their guy. He plays in a similar offense in high school. So, they think that it will transfer over to when he gets to college. So, yeah, I think it's a good pickup. You're just adding to that list. Definitely want to handle some battles in state and add to that recruiting list. But, yeah, good pickup for Tennessee.
Yep, I like it. You did bring in, I guess you got to get him signed. He's not signed officially. He's class of 2022, but you got a guy. You got another name on that list. Still looking for Tennessee to really start building a foundation to a really solid recruiting class. We'll see if that happens. I think probably you won't see many big name commits, at least until Josh Heupel starts winning games or you get closer to time, whichever comes first. I know which one I hope comes first.
Right.
All right, let's talk about the bad news then. Let's talk the guys going the other direction. So I guess that news hit Saturday as well.
It was like a ride after.
Yeah, it was back-to-back.
Yeah.
I did know that. Henry, To'o, and it kind of sucks. Like I was prepared, and I'm not. I don't know if I hope I'll never be mad enough to tweet at a player. I hope I'm past that stage of my life. Even like a professional player, I hope I don't tweet at them because they don't want to play for the Packers, for example. If I was a Packers fan, I don't know if anybody out there in this world right now wouldn't want to play on the Packers. That's not the point. I think everybody at that organization seems extremely happy, but I hope I just never get to the point that I tweeted them. And I mean, like the reason it was like I wasn't as mad is because I knew he was leaving. Like there was no chance he comes back. He's not on campus now. Why would he?
Yeah.
Like, why would he come back? But man, that stung. Like going out, like, and it's like what we talked about last week. Like the thing that I think pisses me off about the whole Danny White being like they're not truly invested. It's like, no, we are. And he did clarify it. He did an interview with Swain Event, and he did kind of clarify to say invest what you can invest. So that means buying a hat, buy a hat, and it's like still not the point in my mind, but whatever. At least he did clarify those statements. But it's like these players, even if they're waking up at 5, 6 a.m. to go work out, and even if they're playing through injuries, like they just don't care about Tennessee the way fans care about. And I know that doesn't go for all of them, I don't think, but it's a business to them. And I'm not saying that's wrong. Like that, don't get me wrong. Like if he believes that's his best chance to get the NFL, Bob, whatever, do you? But there's this hatred for Tennessee and Alabama that, it's shown through.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and Alabama fans want to pretend they don't care about Tennessee, but a lot of them were tweeting at Tennessee fans, like laughing hysterically about the events on Saturday. So it's like they care about Tennessee. Otherwise, you wouldn't waste your time if you were an Alabama fan and didn't care about Tennessee. So,
yeah, it hurt for sure. Not just leaving because like you said, we knew he was gone. But you go to a team that when you sign to Tennessee, you are signing to despise a certain team, and that's Alabama. And you should despise them. If you played them twice. You should absolutely hate everybody on that roster. I don't care if they're your friends beforehand or not. You should despise that team. And that it just seemed like he was always kind of like, even when he signed, he was flirting with going to Washington.
And part of me always believed Andy. Like part of me was like, he did talk to his dad. Like he's not going to Alabama. But why didn't he go to Washington? Like go to Washington, go to USC, go to Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't give a like. People are just like, I don't want him to go to Ohio State. I don't care. Ohio State has literally nothing to do with Tennessee.
It would be annoying to watch him win there, but it's not him standing in the visitor locker room at Neal and smoking a cigar annoying. So it's like, choose your annoying, and I know which one I pick.
Did we just call Henry To'oTo'o Butch Jones?
Yeah, they're both freaking Benedict Arnolds. So as far as I'm concerned, I think this is that. I don't know, and like he's not going to play for Alabama. Alabama's not just handing out transfers. Like
no, they're not.
Like,
he's good. People are just like, he won't play at Alabama. He's going to play at Alabama. Now, is he going to show out the way he did at Tennessee? Maybe not. But maybe he needed guys around him to make him better. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the.
Well, there's definitely like an aspect to it where it's like you want some help. Like if you're going to be good, you need help. Mm-hmm. And then there's like he was an All-American. He was a freshman All-American. Like, was he great in pass coverage this year? No. Were there a lot of linebackers in the SEC that were great in pass coverage this year? No. Will he get better coaching at Alabama? Yes. It's just like it sucks. And that's the thing is like everyone's like, the Juwan Mitchell tape of him beating someone in the hole was like, I'd take him over Henry To'oTo'o. I would like for them both to be on the same team. Okay. Is that too much to ask?
That'd be nice.
Why do I have to hate a guy that was here like a month ago? More than that. But it's just like, it is frustrating. The transfer portal officially sucks. I'm no
longer supposed to do with this.
We can pull the stitching out. I'm no longer a fan of the transfer portal or the one-time transfer rule. Don't ask me my thoughts on it ever again. Even if Tennessee gets a big name guy, I'm officially 100% against it. Don't pay the players. In fact, I think we should go back to when freshmen couldn't even play varsity football. This is how back in time the NCAA should go. Freshmen shouldn't be allowed to play varsity football. Official recruiting visits aren't even a thing. They've got a bus to every game. I'm officially no longer a player's guy. Bring it back to the old days. Bring it back to the good old days when football was football and they didn't throw it.
You're that mad?
Yeah, I'm so angry. I want to watch Tennessee run the wing tee. That's how angry I am.
I just hate his this isn't goodbye. Like I'm still a VFL thing when he announced he was in the transfer portal. I'm just like, dude, you went to Alabama. You literally spit in the face of you spit in my face. I bought
You cut out. I don't know if you accidentally ripped out your headphones. Yeah, no, you're good. That's how angry Landon is, though. Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's just like you said. It's not yet. It's just that simple. That I think I hear you now. Try again. Yeah, you're a little broken up, but I got you at least a little bit. Check. Oh,
Back.
Check for me. Yep, got you back. And
What am I supposed to do with this?
I mean, I think you
bought
should.
This from China. What am I supposed to do with this?
I think you should 100% do the Lane Kiffin video where the dude peed on the shirt and then burned it. I think was the order that went in.
To be fair, it's still got the tags. Do you think they take it back? I get a little in-store credit.
Yeah, I think you should try. I think you should just send it back. But yeah, whatever. It just sucks that, like, first off, the rich get richer. So it just sucks when you look at Nick Saban in Alabama. Because like you said, he's a very good football player. It sucks as a Tennessee fan. Yeah, it really, 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 really sucks. And I'm sad. I was sad yesterday. I was more sad than mad. Felt betrayed, man. Felt betrayed.
Yeah.
It was like that girl that's like, no, that dude's ugly and he's mean and he's not even funny. You're way funnier. And then she ends up going out on a date with him and you're left at home. That's what it felt like last night. I've never experienced that, but that's what it felt like.
I mean, I don't wish him to get hurt. Like I saw some people, and that's just not what you should be wishing.
That's people were like,
but I'm not going to wish him luck. I don't.
No.
I don't want him to be good.
No, and it's like I can't even like. I would love for Alabama to go 0-11 or 0-12, whatever. What I was going to say to that is if Alabama went 1-11 and their only win was against Tennessee, I would be happier than them going, 12-0 or whatever. Like I would be happy with their one win. So, someone said yeah in reply. Bye. I mean, yeah, that's just bye Henry Toto. And like you said, I'm not wishing him luck. Nope, you don't get luck when you go to Alabama from me. Sorry.
Yeah, screw you.
It's not gonna happen.
I mean, dude, like everybody loved that dude. They loved his family. Like we were so happy to get this kid from California, and
we were paying him well. Apparently, according to reports, he was getting a nice bag.
Yeah, he lost his stimmy, so he had to go somewhere else.
Also, can we talk about this? Eric Gray, Henry Toto. Who were the other people that were linked to the pay scandal? Names.
God, I can see his big lineman that went to Georgia. Are we talking about just Tennessee people?
Well, yes, that guy. But you're playing into my point. But Tennessee people that were tied into it. Eric Gray, Henry Toto, Darnell Wright. Was it Darnell Wright? Wanya Morris.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was it? Was it?
I don't know. I don't even know. Like I know Eric Gray was mentioned in that article, but I don't know who else was actually mentioned. I don't think it's official.
Okay. But anyways,
yeah, so that
Crouch, that doesn't play in. Chris, delete that. That doesn't play into my point. But they go to the teams that have been wildly successful lately. You don't think they're paying them? Like you don't. Come on. If Tennessee's paying them, you think they're like, I'll go play for free in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
I want to know, like, if it comes out that they were paid, are they not ineligible?
I would think. I don't know.
Like for the guys who went to Oklahoma, whatever, I don't care. But Henry Toto, that'd be hilarious because you went to Alabama. That'd be hilarious.
No, but Oklahoma needs to get in trouble too because it just pisses me off that we have to pretend like all these programs are clean. Be like, oh, man, Alabama's won national championships and they don't pay players. Nick Saban doesn't have to pay players. Okay, you're right. Shut up.
Yeah, Oklahoma, guess what? You're probably going to be the number 4 seed in the college football playoff and get blown out by somebody. So
yeah, but yeah, I just find it funny. Yeah, whatever. All right, let's. Any other transfer portal news? I know that was really the main thing.
Yeah, so Tennessee is looking to add somebody else. I know they've spoken with Dejon Terry, the defensive tackle from Kansas, who's got 3 years of eligibility left. Played 2 games in 2019, then redshirted. And then last year he had 14 tackles, 2 sacks. He's 6'4", 320. I mean, he's a big dude. Meridian, Mississippi. So, Southern, big corn-fed, big defensive lineman. If they're talking to him, I guess they think that he can be a difference for Tennessee because they have a lot of bodies at defensive line. I guess they just don't think they have the right guys.
Well, I mean, I think Tennessee's also in a situation where beggars can't be choosers. So,
yeah, so they reached out to him. Maybe that's something that would be closer to home for him, being from Mississippi and then being at Kansas. So, I wonder if that's a reason to transfer. I don't know, and the fact that his coach left. So.
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee's going to have to try to find a way to benefit from the transfer portal if they want to be. I want to say competitive at all in 2021, but we kind of talked about that schedule. I think there's still ways to be competitive, but if you want to be competitive for 10 games, you're going to have to try to find some quality stuff in the transfer portal this summer.
Yeah, hate the transfer portal in football, but love it for basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I'm at right now.
Exactly. Chris asked any word on Jay Hardy. Last I heard, he was in the portal, but no word has been announced.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really play much at Auburn, so if they were to reach out to him, it's probably Rodney Garner's call because he coached him at Auburn.
Yeah, and hopefully that means if Rodney Garner doesn't want him, he has he didn't feel like that. Like hopefully if Tennessee doesn't get him, you're hoping that it's Tennessee that doesn't want him. Because like you said, you got a guy that truly knows him on the staff. Like you've seen him in practice. So
yeah, that should maybe, if Tennessee doesn't reach out, that should maybe tell you, maybe where Jay Hardy's at, I guess.
Right.
Because I mean, Tennessee's actively looking for guys in the transfer portal. If they're not willing to reach out to somebody who, a guy on staff coached last year, then he probably doesn't like what he saw.
Yeah, and that's an interesting situation too, because I think a lot of people,
that's probably another one you can add to the list.
Add to what? Add to which list?
That list of guys that went elsewhere. That was
kind of my point too. That one's interesting because, I'm not saying that anyone should have ever tweeted at the kid and been mean. Mean's probably not the right word, but it's like he didn't just not commit to Tennessee. Like he potentially put Tennessee in a situation to have recruiting violations, which obviously ended up not mattering. But I mean, he didn't just he wasn't just it's come down to Tennessee and Auburn and South Carolina, whoever. And then it was I pick Auburn. It was no, he played Tennessee as long as he possibly could, knowing he had already apparently signed the papers to Alabama or Auburn, excuse me. So it's that one's an interesting one. If he can ball, come on home, Jay Hardy. There's a spot for you here. But it is an interesting one because I don't think it's as simple as a kid just made a decision to go elsewhere. No, he was he kind of
led Tennessee on.
He tried to laugh at Tennessee publicly.
Yeah.
Just to get, I guess, for shits and gigs. I don't know.
Yeah, it's no, I didn't sign. No. Yeah, you can come to my basketball game in Chattanooga. Yeah, you can talk to me.
So weird. The guy in the mask need to grab one of the DBs that hit the portal. Yeah, I think there's definitely. I think Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, if they have experience on it, I mean, I think you can. I think any position defensively is pretty safe to go out and get. But I think if they can find some more leadership, because I just think there's definitely lack of that there. But I think DBs would be a strong place to hit. He mentioned the 5-star at Clemson would be a nice dude, but has all caps issues. Who's that? I'm not familiar with
I'm not familiar with that either. But if they have issues, then
sign them.
I mean, yeah, this is more important issues, but I don't know if Tennessee can really afford right now to deal with any more issues than they've already dealt with the recruiting violations, with the NCAA, and then the incident that they had on campus that ended up in 2 guys already leaving the program. So, or I guess another incident with Beasley. So that's
Right.
3 guys that have already left the program. So issues might not be, that might be like a cross off the list for Tennessee at this point.
Yeah, you're not really, unfortunately for those guys, you're not necessarily in a position to take risk on them. So, yeah, not a time to be Darian Kendrick.
Yeah, no, he was number 1.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So why did he? If he has history, I'm trying to figure out why he ended up leaving.
I think it was
charged with gun and drug violations in Rock Hill. So
maybe not the best.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a detox program at this point. I don't know if Tennessee's in a position to rehabilitate. I think we're working on ourselves right now. We can't.
But I mean, if you like his tape, I mean, you at least give him a phone call.
Right. See what's going on.
Yeah.
Credence Wood ask 2022. Golly, I can't speak. 2022 recruits we could get, guys on the radar for the Vols.
Yeah, I think Addison Nichols is a guy. Cam Miller, Dallin Hayden, Isaiah Horton are all guys that you would like to add in this class. Anthony Brown at Milan.
Nice.
There you go. He's another one that Tennessee would probably like to add. Other than that, I mean, those are the big names. A lot of those guys are in state. Addison Nichols is in Georgia, but he has some Tennessee ties and is probably one of the highest rated recruits that Tennessee's probably in with at this point. But yeah, any of those guys that I mentioned would be solid gets for Tennessee. But you're going to have to battle some teams. Cam Miller, I think, is battling with Alabama for that one, and then Isaiah Horton. I think he is kind of looking at Florida too. I think he mentioned them that he was taking an official visit at some point to them. So, and then Dallin Hayden, Ohio State is a big one that you're going to have to win that battle. Yeah, I think any one of those guys, or all those guys, would be nice to get in Tennessee's class to really solidify this as a good class, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to take a lot to I mean, right now, I know it's early, but you're talking about a team this time last year that was sitting in first in the recruiting rankings, sitting 39th, I believe, before I hopped on tonight. So, which I know it's like, I'm not saying any cause to necessarily freak out. You also have a coach who hasn't played a game yet, but it's certainly not a great start.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of those guys are offensive guys, so definitely want to. You want to hit defense pretty heavy at some point too, and that's why, hopefully you're trying to get some guys that aren't just one and done in this transfer portal, guys that have a couple years left where you can add some recruits and not rely on freshmen to really come in and have to play right away.
Right. Absolutely. And anything else for recruiting as you I know hopefully we touched enough on the 2022 class, some transfers. And I like what the guy on the mask said. He said, like I said, issues. That was a good way to put it. We should have left it at issues. That's why you don't investigate. You don't want to know more.
Right. Yeah. When you start digging, that's where you get in trouble.
Exactly.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
you start digging, you're like, holy crap, what is all this?
If Plowman hadn't looked around, man, who knows what we would be? She hadn't done her digging. Yeah. Due diligence, guys, is not a good thing, no matter what they tell you, okay?
If you're winning, you probably can sweep some of that stuff under the rug.
Yeah, no, that's it. If you win, you use the broom. If you're losing, you use the shovel. That's how the whole saying that I just made up goes.
That's actually so you just came up with that.
I've never heard that. In fact, I didn't know where I was. Like, I already had part of that planned, and then you mentioned sweeping it under the rug, and I was like, perfect. That tied it all up. So
that's a good saying. your wisdom, man.
Yes,
beyond my years. Else. Yeah, man, that was intense. I guess we can just end on that one. See y'all.
I doff my cap. Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk. Okay, so let's get into the part of the show that I think a lot of people, fortunately, are waiting on now. Like, this is what people come to more important issues for. We're gonna have to change our name to just like baseball. Like, that's just nothing else. because that's what all the people want. So let's talk Tennessee travels. Tony Vitello goes home, and he doesn't bring his keys with him. He doesn't know where they're at. He hasn't been home in so long. But he busts down the freaking door. But he cleaned up while he was there, so that's good.
Yeah. Little spring cleaning.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, exactly. Tennessee took care of business, got the sweep over a pretty bad Missouri team.
But I mean, we talked about this though, on Wednesday. No win's going to come easy in the SEC. Like, I mean, there's a lot of great players in and around the league, and to go out and do it, and you did it in fairly, convincing fashion, almost dominating fashion at times. Blade Tidwell today was, I think, when he went out of the game, I think he just got his backpack and left. Like, he was like, "That's it, I'm ready to go home." Yeah,
he just like, I'll warm up the bus for you guys.
Yeah, he was out. He didn't hesitate, and just a great performance from him. But I mean, all around great weekend from Tennessee, and you said it on Wednesday. You're like, this is a team you should go out and sweep. So it's not like you just went out and really, really surprised some people. But like we mentioned early in the show, you got to take care of business if you want to kind of end up on the right side of things. Like, there's still some luck involved because you don't go head to head with Vanderbilt. Like, you can't make that decision, but you have to go take care of business and then let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, and Missouri came out looking pretty good on Friday night. Tennessee didn't really help themselves out. They, especially in that first inning, they had guys on and they got picked off twice in that first inning and ended that inning. But Missouri looked pretty good. Their pitcher was pretty decent. I forget his name now that I'm talking about him. Halverson, maybe.
That sounds right to me.
That sound? Yeah. So I mean, he looked pretty decent against Tennessee. Had 3 strikeouts and threw 5 innings. And Tennessee was just like, kind of got hit in the mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
But Max Ferguson, he doubled in the 6th to tie the game at 3. And then in the 8th inning, he hits that freaking bomb.
Was it Friday night that it landed in the in midfield of the football facility?
Yeah. It hit the indoor facility right above the retired baseball of Max Scherzer. So
well, then they had one on who hit one on Saturday that ended up on the field house. Was that today? God, dude, my weekend has been just apparently not.
So Luke hit one yesterday.
I guess that was it. He hit one onto not quite as deep, but it hit the field house.
Yeah, and then Max Ferguson hit another one today.
The field house isn't necessarily on top of the field. It's close, but there's still some room back there behind the wall.
But the announcers were saying that one on Friday night was the furthest ball that they've seen hit at that stadium. So pretty impressive. And you needed a series like this from your preseason All-American like Max Ferguson is.
Mm-hmm.
Not the season he probably had won it up to this point. But to find yourself really dialed in this late in the season, really finding it, that's what Tennessee desperately needs. Coming up against the number 1 team in the country this weekend after you play Tennessee Tech on Tuesday. But he was phenomenal this whole weekend. 7 for 11, 6 RBIs, 2 home runs, 3 walks, 6 runs. I mean, you can't have a better series than Max Ferguson did this weekend. Drew Gilbert also had a really good series. He was 5 for 10. 9 for 15, 6 RBIs. Just had I think he was 4 for 5 today. And I think he reached base all 4 times, but they didn't give him a hit because they said it was an error. But whatever. I mean, he reached base all 5 times. So, he was phenomenal. And those are 2 guys that have struggled a little bit here kind of middle of the season. So kind of having guys finding their own this weekend, I think is huge. Just building some confidence for postseason play. But Tennessee had 14 extra base hits this weekend to Missouri's 4. So you're going to win a lot of baseball games doing that. Now, you left a lot of runners on. I think you left 35 on base this weekend.
I don't know what to say about it because it's like you want to see the problem get solved, but it's not a new issue for Tennessee. Like this has been like pretty much day one. You're like, man, they did not have a problem getting guys on base, but just could not get runners in.
Yeah, I mean, like looking at the score, maybe not on Friday. Friday night was kind of an issue, but looking at Saturday and Sunday, you scored quite a bit of runs. So I mean, it's hard to really complain about it. But you're getting guys on base at such a high rate that it makes the 35 look a lot bigger than it probably is.
Yeah, and you mentioned this week. This week was, like you said, on Sunday he scored 11 and 10 points. Like it's not as big of an issue. Like when you talk about getting runners in, if you tell the coach you got 10 and 11 in, they're probably not asking too many questions. They're okay and moving on. So this week isn't necessarily a product of those issues, but it is something that's kind of been a reoccurring theme. But the fact that Tennessee's hitting the ball really, really well, and outside of Friday this week, I mean, like I said, no one's complaining about that.
Yeah, I think they lead I think they're second to Arkansas in walks. So they're getting guys on base at an extremely high rate, and one of those guys is Liam Spence, who I think extended his streak to 48 games today. He struck out the first 3 times. You're like, oh, is this going to be it? And then I think he got 2 straight hits after that. So I think he got 1 hit. He walked the 4th time, and then
the man's on base.
Yeah, that's all he does is get on base. Pitching wise, I thought Chad Dallas did a good job. Missouri came out hitting a little bit, but he settled down and got the win. He's now 8-1 on the season. I think he's second in the SEC in wins, only to Kamar Rocker. So he's got a higher rate than Jack Leiter, or a higher win total than Jack Leiter right now. So definitely a great season that Chad Dallas is having. Camden Sewell on Saturday, I thought pitched really well in relief for Will Heflin. And then Blade Tidwell just shoved it today. That I was talking about hitters building confidence. I mean, that's a guy that they would love to get more confidence out of. And Blade Tidwell, who's, hated for Missouri, but he's going to be here 2 more years. So get used to that.
Right.
He pitched 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. I mean, just a solid outing for the kid. It was not the best of conditions, so wasn't able to get that velo up to, that 98 miles an hour that he's shown, but was pretty consistent on 92, 91 pretty much all day long. And Missouri had a hard time of getting a lot of hits. Didn't get an extra base hit in the game. So I mentioned they had 4 extra base hits in the series and 0 today. So definitely a great outing for him. And another guy just getting confidence at the right time.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, no, and then I feel like I guess it depends on the team, because we've talked about where this bullpen stands as far as Tennessee making those late postseason runs. But the fact that you're getting so much out of your starters, I mean, that's obviously you benefit greatly from that.
Yeah, I think they've added some guys too that, it's been a lot of Sean Hunley, Kirby Cannell. They've sprinkled in Redmond Walsh kind of these past 2 weekends. Has done a pretty good job. Elijah Pleasance got some run yesterday after Kirby Cannell to kind of close out the game. And then Will Mabry pitched after Blade Tidwell in between Blade and Redmond today. So adding a little bit more guys to that, getting some guys some SEC experience and getting them ready for postseason play. You're going to need a lot of guys in that bullpen come postseason play. So getting them guys in there right now, building some confidence is what you want.
Absolutely. And I know you want to talk about some SEC standings. First off, too, before we get into that, I'm a known hater of the Smoky Grays, the baseball version. Today, I got to say, I turned it on and I was like, man, I don't know if it was my TV settings were maybe different, but I was like, those uniforms look really, really good. And
get the right color.
This is a public apology to Tennessee baseball for my initial hate of the Smoky Grays. I'm back in, baby. You drew me back in today.
I really like the coaching helmets. The gray ones of those.
I guess I didn't notice them. Do they look like the hat or?
Yeah, it's pretty similar to the hat.
The hat looks good.
I just think they look good.
What I really love is the white outline of the orange lettering.
Mm-hmm.
It's gorgeous. I can't say it. It's just gorgeous. All right.
Good weekend. Most SEC wins Tennessee has gotten since, and they've actually tied it with the team that went to Omaha in 2005.
I thought it was 18. I thought they had to get one more. Is it 17?
17. They have 18
17.
to beat it. They tied it today.
Okay, and I think 18 will be the most as well since 1995, which was also a College World Series.
Yep.
So this is a big weekend. We talked about the standings, or we're going to talk about the standings here. Tennessee 17-7 in conference play. They Vanderbilt had to cancel their game with Alabama this afternoon due to weather. Listen, we all live in the state of Tennessee. That means the weather across the state is the exact same. It didn't do anything more than a light drizzle, so to call it what it is. Don't tell me what the weather was in Nashville.
He was scared.
I'm not saying that. If that's what you heard because of the facts presented, then that's just you go with that. No one comment and tell me what the weather was actually like in Nashville. I don't care. I live in the state of Tennessee. I know how weather works. Don't explain anything else to me. But Tennessee is in the lead by one win in the East.
And that could be huge for Vanderbilt to cancel that game. Because I mean, you mentioned like Tennessee, they would be if they won today. Tennessee would be tied with them, so that could be huge in seeding for the SEC tournament. And I hate it for them. I really
hate it. On the West side too, you've got Arkansas at 17-7, so that Tennessee and Arkansas tied for first total overall in the SEC. If I know it's really not much of a thing right now. It doesn't really matter for the SEC tournament. And then Mississippi State sitting there at 16-8. Also, Florida on the East, going back to the East side real quick, 15-9. They're not as far as seeding for Vanderbilt goes, I mean, let's call it possible, right? I mean, yeah, Vanderbilt plays Kentucky, but they're in it. Or sorry, they play Ole Miss this weekend. Vanderbilt does. Vanderbilt's got two more series left. So.
Yeah, so Florida will play Georgia and Arkansas. So that's pretty tough going. I mean, Georgia gave Arkansas all they wanted this weekend, and then Florida's a good baseball team. I'm not saying I think Tennessee got them at a good time because we probably should have swept them.
Right.
But I think Florida's a really good baseball team. And they got some young guys in that lineup that are really going to be good in this league for a long time. So to get that win, I think was huge over them. And I don't even really know what to say about it because like coming into the season, I was like, you just want to like try to get to a regional and hopefully try to win that and maybe get to a super. Like you're top 5 team, like legit top 5 team.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, like you're now the hunted. You're not the hunter anymore. You can't play that underdog card anymore because Missouri came out on Friday night and gave you the best shot.
Dabo Swinney's been playing the under, like he played it as a defending national champion. You can play the underdog card.
Well, I mean, you can play it, but the other team isn't. They're not buying into that.
No, and it's also extremely annoying. I really hope Attila doesn't do that. I think there is still a lot to prove for this Tennessee team. Like, I don't think – because I think a lot of people are just kind of like momentum. That's once – I think people are thinking once Tennessee gets hit in the mouth, like there it goes. But, I mean, the way they responded after the Vanderbilt series, where they pushed and just like almost like they couldn't overcome a really good team. Just like even when they did the right things, they were met with the opposite force that was stronger. And then obviously they had some mental breakdowns too in that game, but they responded well. I think that surprised a lot of people in the country. I think a lot of people were like, "We'll have Tennessee in the top 5. They'll lose to Vanderbilt. We can drop them out and be done with them." Because this team just doesn't have. They don't necessarily believe the talent that's what's going on at Tennessee. So I think there is a little bit of an underdog aspect to it still. But like you said, it's definitely like Tennessee controls their own destiny. This isn't like you go out. I mean, like Tennessee isn't going to be sitting here going, we got to win some games in Omaha or in freaking Hoover to get to a regional. Like, no,
Right.
like you just need to go win the games are in front of you. And like, there's no question. You don't have to hope the right teams lose. You don't have to hope. You just go win, and that's it. It's that simple.
Yeah, and you're not you're not even a middle of the pack SEC team, which, there's nothing really wrong with that when it comes to national seeding, because like you're probably in the top 25 if you're a middle of the pack SEC team, but you've beaten everybody you should have beaten up to this point.
Yeah.
And you play number 1 Arkansas, well, you got a chance to hopefully knock them off, and then you play a pretty good South Carolina team. But up to this point, you've taken care of business, and so you're a legit top 5 team. So I mentioned not being the hunted, like you're up there, and you've proven that you belong up there. So I mean, it would be hard for me to play like, oh, dude, we're the underdog. I mean, maybe this weekend against Arkansas,
you are the underdog. Like this is the one.
Right,
like,
yeah,
you gotta.
You can use it during this series, but like against Missouri, no, hell no.
And this is like this is you're playing I don't know, like you beat everybody else, and now this is the one you gotta really overcome. And I think too for for Tennessee as far as this weekend goes, it's like looking at the Vanderbilt series. The guy on the mask mentioned here, that's his name, by the way. I said it and it sounded weird, like I was talking about a guy I didn't know, but that's his name on Periscope. He's like, I hope we can get a sweep against – if Tennessee was somehow able to go out and sweep Arkansas, first off, I'm going to be the most unbearable person of all time because I've been a little hesitant. Not that I don't believe in Vitello or believe in Tennessee. It's just like I also know how difficult it is to win consistently at a high level and, in the SEC. So it's just been like, man, I mean, they're winning. They're taking it game by game. Like, look at the great things they're doing. We, nitpicking, like they got to bring runners home when they get them into scoring. Like that, like you're nitpicking after they beat a team 11 to what was the final today? 10-3, 10-4, 10-2. There's just 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, but it's just like you are nitpicking because a little hesitant. If they go out and sweep Arkansas, it's gonna be annoying. So I'm gonna let you know that right now.
11-4 was yesterday.
Okay.
So that's probably where you saw that.
So I'm going to be incredibly unbearable.
Good. I hope you are.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough. I'm as a Tennessee, I'm a battered Tennessee fan. I'm cautious. But you go out and sweep the number 1 team in the nation, and you can go ahead and just you're going to not like me after it. So,
yeah,
if you're not a Tennessee fan.
There's a lot going down this weekend. I mean, you're tied for first place in the SEC. The number 1 team in the country is coming to town. And I mean, you have a chance to really solidify yourself as a national seed for a super regional. Not even talking about a regional. I mean, 2 years ago, it was shocking that Tennessee was in a regional. Now we're hosting, and now we're talking about hosting for a super regional. Tennessee have just climbed the SEC that fast. Mm-hmm. And, credit to this staff and Tony Vitello. He's just done a phenomenal job. And Danny White, I mean, where's the check at?
I'm not even in the – you don't have to pay Tony Vitello. This should be on your to-do list for – you should have been working on it already, and he says he is. Lindsey Nelson needs to be at 100% capacity Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Danny White, if you want to find out how invested Tennessee fans are, open it to 100% capacity. Do it. I dare you. I dare you. You don't have the balls to do it.
I double dog dare you.
I double dog. You don't have the balls to do it, Danny White. Do it. Do it. Put your money where your mouth is. $250,000. Pay the fine.
Is that the
fine? There is a fine. I don't know. No, he paid that. He paid that to that fund. Do it. I dare you. I dare you.
I mean, I'll throw an extra every Tennessee fan there would pay an extra $5 to see that thing opened up.
You don't have the balls to do it, Danny. Do
it. Caleb is calling him out. I love it. Bet you won't say it to his face.
See, that's where you're wrong.
I would love to see that. I would definitely see it.
I hope he Danny, like this is like you can be like if you get called in to President Randy Boyd's office or Donde Plowman's office, and they're like, Danny.
Oh, I guess we lost Caleb. I guess there's that weather for Vanderbilt. I guess they finally got Caleb. So he's decapitated. That's all we got for baseball. So let's start with – all right, he's back.
Yeah, sorry. Quick flip.
I thought it was I mentioned that. I guess that Vanderbilt weather kind of got to you.
Yeah, a lot of talking trash. Actually, I meant to before the show. It was storming up here. If my power was to go out, that's a possibility. So,
Okay.
so yeah,
I thought Danny White just canceled you.
Yeah, he's got my IP address. He knows how to do it.
Canceled. Love it.
Yeah, that is all we have for baseball. But I did fail to mention. How about? I mean, not that Evan Russell's been not great defensively, but what about him hosing a guy out from freaking left field this week?
Dude, the guy's just good at baseball. I mean,
a little bit.
I mean, he's not a guy that's when he gets off the bus, he's like, you're not going to be wowed by the kid. But he just you're talking about a guy that loves Tennessee. That's Evan Russell. He's basically still a walk-on. I mean, he just loves to play for Tennessee. And, I love to see the kid, be rewarded for that with a ton of success. I think he had 2 doubles today. Let's see what he went today. He was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, 2 doubles. And then, like you mentioned, just hosed to get a runner out at home plate today. I don't know why. Why do people keep testing him? Is it because he physically he doesn't look intimidating? You're like, oh, that guy can't throw me out.
I think most people would have ran home in that situation. To be fair, I think Evan Russell made just that good of a play.
Here you go. That's what you get.
And it was Jackson Greer at the plate today, or at catcher, right?
Yeah,
I think he made a great play too.
Yeah, he had a tag.
I really wasn't like that. I wasn't thinking, oh, that was a dumb decision. I thought Evan Russell, I thought that just made a great play.
I mean, the guy's slide was pretty good. The tag was a little high, so it made it closer, but the ball was there. The ball beat him by feet.
Maybe it just looked closer. I don't know. I thought it was very, very close. And I was thinking, I don't know if you regret sending that guy home. I think it's one of those. And you tell my players this all the time. You get frustrated because somebody does something really good. And you think you should have countered it. It's like when a guy just, catches and shoots in your face and drains one in your eye. You can't be mad. Just good shot. And you go then make the next play. Yeah.
I mean, if you have a hand in the face and he makes it, it's just you're meant to make that. Yeah, you couldn't see. You didn't see the rim. Yeah. There's no way.
You're a good player. You just.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a perfect throw in that situation to get that guy out, and it was. So, yeah, you probably don't regret. I think it was Florida who Evan Russell hosed this guy out, and Evan Russell had the ball before the guy even touched third base. Yeah, so I was like. Also, did you see Ronald Acuna today?
No, I did not. I have the Braves as one of my most important. A little ill-informed, most important. But what happened with Acuna today?
So they hit he's on second base. They hit one up the middle, and the third base coach is just no. And Acuna's screw that, I'm in.
Is he that fast? Is he fast enough to do that?
Yeah, I mean Acuna hit a routine ground ball to shortstop and beat it by a mile.
I did see that. Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt the dude can freaking hit. I didn't know how fast.
I mean, I don't know how much faster he'd be if he didn't have 8 chains on his neck, too.
And how much protection he wears at the plate.
I know.
So what was he? Was he batting? Or was he a runner already?
Yeah, he was a runner.
Okay, so he at least had all the shields off. At this point.
Yeah, all of his armor.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know if he was the fat. The guys that you're when he ignores you, you're I get it. I don't know if how fast he was.
I mean, he almost had to dodge the third base coach because he was standing he was no.
Wouldn't that be great to see a third base coach just tackle a guy? And he's no, you are not passing this up. Sit. That would be fantastic.
That'd be awesome.
Do we have any questions? I know we've had some talk through the chat.
I don't
see
think
here.
we had. I have to look and see.
I know we had some questions about 2022 recruiting on Twitter. Already talked about that. Yeah, guys, tell us. We're always here to talk about what we want to talk about. So let us know. Prepare some stuff for Wednesday. It's we call it this Wednesday. It's every year on this date. I don't even know how many years we've been doing the show, but every time May 12th, we call it the listener show. You guys just pick the outline and we do it. So welcome. Yeah, do that.
There you go. No, we don't have any more questions. That's all we got.
Let's get into most important then.
Most important.
I'll go ahead and do the Braves one. I don't know if it was Friday or okay. So the Braves opened up capacity to 100%. I don't know exactly what night it was. It was one of the first nights. And I also don't know who hit the walk-off. I think it was a 2-run homer. But that place went freaking nuts. And what a time to do it. Like the first like
Panda?
It might have been. It's like the first night. It's almost like hitting a walk-off on opening day, right? Like you get 2 opening days this year. Because you get the full capacity crowd. It's electric. It's electric.
It's electric. Yeah, that's awesome stuff. Please open up Lindsey Nelson. Just open it.
There's no chance it happens. Like,
no.
There's no chance.
But also, like, if people want to say it's not 50% either, because the amount of students that are in right field is, I mean, they would fill up probably the remainder of the seats. There's a.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't know about this week. Wish the Legends of Lindsey would have stayed.
There's got to be a couple guys on campus that can.
Also, what do you think about the new shirt?
I like that shirt a lot.
The cream.
It's probably my second favorite baseball shirt behind the.
Ours.
Yeah, third favorite. Good point. Nice, great save. I'd have to go. God, I have to go find it. Someone actually sent me a picture today. I don't really know how to describe it, but
I'm a very when it comes to baseball stuff. I like the keep it simple. I like the script. I really like the script. I also like the old school diamond with the script on it. It used to be a patch, I think, on the jersey.
It looks a lot like the old school. The one I'm thinking of. I'm gonna have to find it because I don't know if I'll find it this show, but I'll find it eventually.
Because the ball shop said they're creating that one. I mentioned I was like, get this on a shirt, and they said ordered. So I don't.
There you go. It's that simple.
Yeah.
I spent $70, and I'm not proud of it, on a pair of shorts. They're BaseVols shorts, and they're freaking sexy. Like, they are awesome. I can't wait to have them. I don't know when they're supposed to come in.
What do they look like?
Oh, they're like retro, and they're freaking gorgeous. I'm going to see if I can pull a picture real quick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
$70 though?
Yeah, I spent way too much, but like, you got me in the moment. Like, I saw them. They have pockets. I was like, all right.
Where did you find that at?
I think Chad Fields retweeted them.
Oh, okay.
Because they also have some retro like men's basketball ones, but they're not like these are cool. These look cool, but I wouldn't wear these.
Yeah.
Whereas like I'll wear the BaseVols ones. I think those are freaking amazing. I love the waistband. That's my favorite part.
Blue waistband.
Yeah. Well, it's blue, orange, and white. Yeah. So if I didn't see that on payday, probably wouldn't have done it. So it says what it is.
They got you. They knew it was coming up.
They knew when to get it on my Twitter feed. So
yeah,
well done. But yeah, that's I'm not mad about it. I just hope they get here as soon as I can wear them.
Yeah. My next most important is Tim Elko, batter for Ole Miss, tore his ACL on April 5th and actually played in the Texas A&M series this weekend. And his first hit since the accident where he tore his ACL, and he hits a 3-run bomb
Yeah, that was
to right field. I mean, could barely run the bases afterwards. But 33 days after he tore his ACL, hits a 3-run shot in SEC play. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, can you say his name again? Because it sounded like a baseball name. Like I was about to be like, I want to be like
Tim Elko.
Elko.
He sounds like a coach.
That's the most baseball name I've ever heard. Elko. So that was my first guess for sure. My most important is kind of assumed his name was Levi. L-E-V, is that Lev?
L-E-V, Lev, yeah. I guess.
Lev Grinberg. He is a 13-year-old. He shot a 70 at a local qualifier, and now he is one qualifier away from playing in the U.S. Open. So playing in a PGA major event.
He's how old?
13 years old.
Damn.
Yeah, and apparently
is he a big kid?
Not. No.
Just a normal 13-year-old?
I mean, he's probably like bigger than your average 13-year-old, but he's not big.
Dang.
He's got I watched a video of him like practicing because
I'm not even a golf guy, but the fact that he has such a good
score, it's insane.
Because like you're having to drive it pretty far to have a good score like that.
Well, and that's the thing is a lot of people were like, oh, when he plays like tougher courses, which the U.S. Open course it's incredibly tough for even professional golfers. So yes, but he did play the qualifier that he shot a 70 at. It played at 7,000 yards, which I know doesn't, register a ton to you since you don't golf. But 7,000 yards is not short. Like he's still having to hit the ball a long way to be in positions to shoot a 70.
Yeah.
So insane. It's like, yeah, it's yes, you got to put it into context a little bit, but it's like,
I mean, that kid was probably like born to golf. Like he came out.
Yo, for sure. To put it in perspective, Augusta's at 7,400 or almost 7,500 yards. So it's like, yeah, a little bit shorter than one of the most famous golf courses that the tour plays at. So it's like the kid can play. Like there's no denying that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you see the thread of like the people that were on their first date? I think they went to the Diamondbacks game. So, and then they went to a Wilds game.
Oh, no. What? Okay. I got to be cynical. They went to another game.
Like they kept on like going on like date number 1, date number 2, date number 3. And like they would go to all these like the Arizona teams kept like inviting them to go to a different.
Okay. So they got invited by.
Yeah, the team.
Coyote.
Yeah.
So they went to a hockey game?
Yeah, the Wild.
Coyotes, right? It's Minnesota Wild, I think.
Yeah, maybe it was.
Maybe they played the Minnesota Wild, but I think it's the Arizona Coyotes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's right. Are they the Coyotes? I don't know the difference. Anyway.
Coyotes. Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah. But there wasn't a fourth date. He said there wasn't a fourth date. So, I mean, I guess it was most important. It was cool that, like, his buddy, like, did that.
Yeah, people were trying to be cynical because apparently they're, like, kind of famous, the two dudes. Like, they're streamers.
Oh, okay.
So people were like, oh, this is a PR stunt, just to, like, get people talking about the Diamondbacks because there are teams in baseball that, like, I forget that exist. The Seattle Mariners are one. I'm trying to think of like another one that I forget off. Like I'm like, oh, they are a baseball team. The Arizona Diamondbacks are another though. I forget about the Padres pretty often. Do you like the Padres don't?
I feel like the Brewers don't really pop into my head very often.
And I think if I didn't live so close to Cincinnati, I would definitely forget about Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
But yeah, the Padres have been good recently because they got Machado and they got Tatis.
Yes, the Padres have been better recently. It's more like growing up. I found out like way late that the San Diego Padres were a baseball team. Like I knew about baseball long before I knew about the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Diamondbacks are definitely someone I don't remember.
But
Is
man,
that a spring train? Is that a rookie league team?
What? I mean, maybe it was a PR stunt, but what a freaking really cool to have those kind of dates, and then no fourth or no third.
I would be
whatever it was.
incredibly embarrassed. I would also, I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, that's why people were being. I wasn't being cynical, and then people were like, "Oh, this guy's a streamer," and I was like, "Damn, that kind of ruins that." Then you said they went on another date at a hockey game, and I was like, "Damn," but I didn't realize it was a byproduct of.
Yeah,
I thought you meant they were like, "Oh, let's go on another date to the hockey game," and then the same thing happened.
Right.
I didn't realize it was a post invitation, so that makes me less cynical.
Any more?
I do. I have too many, I think, this week. It's just one of those. Admiral Schofield got signed to a 10-day contract with the Orlando Magic. Good for him.
Yep. I got one.
I thought I had one more.
I guess it's
that's a fail. I'm not even say that for stupidity. I don't know, because this is excellent, promotions. But what do you think about all the Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Floyd Mayweather stuff?
I could care less. I just want to see the fight. I could care less about everything that builds up to it.
You don't think it's absolutely just hilarious?
Yeah, but I can't tell the two. I don't know Logan and Jake Paul. I don't know which is which.
I just found out which one. I can now tell you which one fights. It's Jake that actually fights.
Okay, but Logan's kind of fights.
Yeah, and he's fighting Floyd. Yeah, it's so weird.
I don't get it. I'm just
but
whatever.
When I say hilarious, I don't find it hilarious in the way that the Paul brothers want me to find it hilarious. I find it I find it the way I watch 1,000 Pound Sisters hilarious. So take that with however you want to take it, but that's the kind of laughing I'm doing. Is that what it's called, 1,000 Pound Sisters? I think so.
Is that the two that's just they're the
I pay my damn bills. They might be on TikTok. I don't know. They're 1,000 pounds. They both equal 1,000 pounds together, which I don't know if you guys know that. That's a lot of pounds. But so here's what I don't understand about boxing, UFC. So they go to the weigh-ins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they try to fight each other there. But what I don't understand is you guys are going to have a chance to actually fight. Pretty much, especially in the UFC, pretty much no rules. Just go at it.
Yeah, they're boxing.
I don't get. I'm just saying, I don't get the whole fighting at weigh-in. Logan and Floyd do that promotional event.
It looks fake.
Yeah, but they do that promotional event, and they do the gotcha hat. First off, gotcha hat is the most middle school thing of all time that could piss off any human being on the face of earth. It is. There is no person that could stand there and have their hat taken by someone that even looks kind of like Jake Paul and be okay with it.
Yeah, and it depends on if you're a hat guy or not. I don't know how big of a hat guy Floyd Mayweather is, but my dad would literally kill somebody if they knocked his hat off.
I think any human being, if they had their hat taken, I think they would react that way. I get that's where for the first time
you're a big hat guy. If somebody came up just randomly and knocked your hat off, you'd want to kill him, right?
Right. But it's super middle school-esque. That's my point. Is
Sure.
It's very middle. I think for me, anything like that, it's when people touch your car. It's not that big a deal. But you're hey, don't touch my car. It's that kind of thing.
Dude, that just brought up something to me. I saw those cars that they try to give away at the mall.
Yeah, did you win?
Why does everybody lean on that car? There are bitches everywhere.
I don't go to the mall often, but
I went yesterday and I saw two different people. They weren't together, leaning on this new, brand new car. I'm
were they testing how they looked leaning on it? They're tell me what this looks like, so I can see.
They're just talking, just leaned up against it like it was theirs. I'm just dude. I mean, people just have no respect for.
Have you ever heard of anyone winning that contest, winning a car from the mall?
Absolutely.
I've heard of people winning the lottery, but no one's been yeah, I want a Ford Fiesta from the mall. How cool is that?
I mean, it's just a lead generator is all that crap is.
They must run my credit before they call me because I've never gotten a call and I enter them all. So
it's just guessing the price, right? Like why?
Exactly. All right. I've got okay.
I got one more.
I've got a fail. Yeah, I've got a fail, and then I'm gonna save some stupidities for this week.
Okay. So I guess this is kind of a fail, but maybe it was on purpose. So I'm gonna let you decide.
Okay.
Kyle Booker showing up to Jersey themed like plane ride and shows up in his own uniform.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with not planned, but like the best mistake possible, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh, how bad would it have been if he had showed up in a Henry To'oTo'o jersey?
Oh, God, that would have been bad.
I saw someone sporting Peyton Manning, and I was like, good thing we stay away from current players. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true.
Chris said, Chris, I never like to deliver bad news. He just said, speaking of winning stuff, did you guys announce who won the shirt? We did. I'm going to let Landon, you got the name? We need to do it again. We did it at the beginning of the show. Landon gave the guy free ad space.
I did. Oh, let me go back to what his name was.
Sorry, I interrupted your point about Booker there, but
yeah,
I think it was great.
I was saying like that. Yeah, it is a flex. Like wearing your own jersey. Like
yeah, for sure.
I'm not wearing Peyton Manning. I'm wearing Kyle Booker.
I love that he had his whole uniform on. He was like, "Yeah, we're going to BP when we get off the plane, right?"
Yeah, it's like we play like in a couple hours.
I loved it. I was a big fan of it personally. All right, my fail of the week.
Derek Dalton was the winner. Derek Dalton out of Granger County.
Congratulations, my man. Derek Dalton. I love it. Love to see it. Fail of the week is I don't like doing this because I'm not a guy that celebrates the highs and lows of people, but I got to do it. Medina Spirit is apparently just doing drugs, like no regard for horse life at all, just pumping PEDs into their system. So Medina Spirit, did you hear about this?
No, I did not.
The winner of the Kentucky Derby popped positive for illegal drugs.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is the biggest scandal since Mark McGuire. Like this is real, man. Bob Baffert. Apparently, this is weird to me. So apparently, like last week, everyone was like, "Yeah, Bob Baffert is the effing king of like horse racing." And now, today, it came out that this horse tested balls, and they're like, "Yeah, he's a disgrace. Like all of his horses do drugs." And guys, I'm like, listen, I know what it's like to grow up in an environment where you're expected to always perform. Sometimes you just do drugs. Like I get Medina Spirit stressed out. He goes back to his stall, maybe smokes a little pot. Like, don't like he's racing his tail off every week, and y'all are mad he's smoking a little pot. Come on, legalize it.
There you go.
What if a horse did test positive for pot? What would they do? Is it illegal?
I don't know.
I
He was just eating a plant, man. I don't like. What do you want him to do?
But no, that's like it's hilarious to me that they drug test horses. By the way, I would like
just say he's vegan.
Yeah, there you go. Do you think they like piss test the horse? Like, you think they're like, here, pee in this?
God, can you imagine getting that test?
Is it like the NCAA where they got it's like the creepy dude in the white coat that holds it for you?
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's rough. I would not want that job. I'd probably rather pick up poop than have that job.
Maybe that's how they do the drug test. Fecal sample.
Okay.
I love my dog pooped at the vet last time. Like he got nervous and just shit all over the floor. They like cleaned it up and they're like, we'll just test this for you. I was like, okay. Charge me another $30. Sure.
For what?
I think they just like did like a heartworm test since he shit for him. But it was like funny. Like she picked it up. She's like, we'll test this. I was like, okay.
You should have just said, no, he's good.
Nah, I don't want the drugs to pop up.
He studied for his drug test.
Yeah, I don't want to get caught drugging my dog up for the racing. So,
my next fail of the week is Pro Football Focus draft. They put out their 2022 mock draft and had Emory Jones at number 6 to the Philadelphia Eagles.
is it just stupid? I mean, that's stupid. Is Emory Jones even still at Florida?
Yeah, apparently
Okay,
he's going to
all
be their starting quarterback. But it's just like you haven't seen anything from this guy. How do you expect him to be number 6? I mean, like Spencer Rattler, Sam Howell, like, yeah, I could see that. But Emory Jones is your 3rd quarterback off the board? I mean, is that Jamie Newman dumb?
It's about as dumb.
I mean, at least Jamie Newman had some couple seasons at Wake Forest before he entered the draft.
Yep. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
I mean, he wasn't even able to beat out Kyle Trask, and Trask went like the 3rd round. So,
where did Trask end up going?
It's a good question. I don't know. I'll look that up.
I don't know either.
You got any more stupidity?
That's all I've got for fails of the week. Anything else?
Oh, he's with the Buccaneers. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember that now. We have one more question before we close it out here. Chris Smith said, will we beat Georgia this year? I don't want to put myself on the stupidity, so I'm just going to not answer that. Because I know what my brain says and I know what my heart says, and they don't agree. So I'm just going to be quiet.
I'm going to go that we're the underdogs, so we're not supposed to win. So I'm just going to leave it.
Nice. There you go. I like that answer. It's a good answer. Guys, we appreciate y'all for listening. We always do. We'll be back on Wednesday doing another show. Go ahead and have your questions, your topics prepared. Tennessee takes on. We will have some baseball to talk about. They take on, is it Tech again? Tech on Tuesday. So we'll have some baseball, more baseball for you. Bring your topics, bring your discussions. If you have, do it.
Do it. Yeah, thanks again for listening. Thanks again for participating in our giveaway. We might do another one here soon. Who knows? So just stay tuned. Keep following along. We're bringing the boat in.